just two girls at Bryant Park on a Thursday. We're here with our bubble tea and
Shake Shack.
And just here to talk about our feelings.
Yep.
Because it's just so many feelings.
It's a lot of feelings.
Feel the feelings, but sometimes it gets too much. You know?
Yeah.
Just gotta talk it out sometimes. So this is Ashanti.
This is Nitisha.
And
this is my bubble tea.
my bubble tea. I'm so awkward. One of the things that we want to talk about is we both are in our early 30s. Single. For
Single
how many years?
Pringle. I think 4, maybe 5. I was dating, but nothing serious. You?
Well, freshly single. I don't want to say freshly single. It sounds like as if it was just
Recently.
yes, recent. I was dating someone for a year and a half up till November of last year. Planning to stay that for quite some time.
I think for me, growing up, I always just thought that I would be like married, kids, because that's like what everyone would talk about. Like, oh, when you're 30, you're gonna be married, you're gonna have kids. It's kind of weird, I feel, a little bit to be in my 30s, and a lot of my friends are also in their 30s
Yeah.
and married
Yeah.
with kids or getting kids or pregnant or on their way for that. So then it is a little bit weird, but also I like where I'm at. Like, I don't mind that I don't have kids or that I'm single. Like, I feel like everyone just has like a different journey. Being by myself, I actually learn things that I like and things that I don't like.
That's true.
Do you feel that way too?
The milestone that I thought I would hit, I thought I would be married, or at least close to that, or have a significant other, or have kids. And now I'm here buying stuffed animal to cuddle at night as an emotional support toy. And when I see in Facebook and Instagram, everyone, like my college friends, well, and high school friends too, they're posting pictures of them getting married, having first kid or second kid, and they have like play dates and everything, and I'm here just figuring out life. There are times where I do feel behind, but then a lot of times I feel this is where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I'm slowly starting to find out what I like versus what I don't.
I spent a lot of my 20s like dating around and feeling like, oh, I have to like do this or do that to get a guy or whatever. And now I just feel like I don't really care. Like, it's not my goal anymore. If I get into a relationship, would be great, but I feel like I'm very happy and comfortable being by myself. It took me a long time to get there, and I also feel like I'm no longer looking for someone to like complete me, because I feel like that's a thing that we hear a lot, like, oh, this person completes
It's
me.
the
It's
movies
like,
too, like, you know?
you shouldn't be completed. They should be an addition to your life, and you should be an addition to their life. I find someone I want it to be because I want them around, not because I need them to be around for me to feel whole, if that makes sense. That felt very deep.
Placing happiness on other people or putting the pressure that the other person should complete you will never bring you happiness. Eventually in life, I would love to have someone as a partner. I don't want to be by myself in life. It's always better to have someone, but it's not necessarily to complete me though. So let's talk about red flags. So there was a video I was watching about relationship. His name is Matthew.
Oh, I love him. I watch his videos too, yeah.
What he said about red flags is what red flags you notice up front and you decide to ignore. Or it could be issues that, not issue, but it could be something small, right, that you choose to ignore. A lot of times that's the reason why
you end up breaking up.
Before I heard about this, like, I never thought about that.
I also feel like a lot of times as like people, but just like women in general, we feel like, oh, if something's wrong, like we can fix it, we can work on it, like we can like help the person through it. And it's like,
because we see the potential.
Potential will kill you. You're dating someone at where they're at right now, not where you see them being. And I feel like that's something that was really hard for me, because one of my longest relationships was like 5 years. You know them, we all went to college together. For me, there was like so much potential there, and I'm like, but if he just like would do X, Y, and Z, we would be such a good couple. And it's like, he never did. And then I broke up with him, and then now he has a new person and they do all the stuff that I was like, oh, that was all the stuff I was asking you to do. And it's really hard to watch, because you're like, why couldn't that person do that for me? But it really, honestly, it doesn't have anything to do with you. It's just everyone grows at a different time, and it's such a hard thing to learn, and sometimes I still think about stuff like that where I'm like, I wonder if X, Y, and Z didn't happen, like would we have like still been together, would we have been engaged, would we have been this, would we have been that? And it's like, what ifs and potential you'll like worry yourself to death. The person wasn't who they were when you were dating them, that's it. Like, they can be that person for someone else.
I feel like you should also recognize red flags that you have as well. Like for me, I've noticed that I need to be emotionally vulnerable as well. Not just about relationship, I just overthink a lot in general. At the same time, I have a lot of anxiety as well.
Fun! Overthinking and anxiety combo.
It's fucking annoying.
Not a meal I want from McDonald's, I'll tell you that. That's not a combo meal I want.
Oh, I wish I could return it. Like, dump it out. Universe, take it back, please. Please, make my life calm. Well, my life, I feel, is calm. It's just what's in my head. That doesn't make it calm. But regardless of that, I was in a relationship in my early 20s with someone who I really saw a future. And when that it did crumble, I took a step back. And even though if I was dating with someone, I always, in my head, took it as, oh, this is for short term, or not pay enough attention. Just basically guard myself so that I don't get hurt again.
Yeah.
And I feel like I carried that in all my 20s. For my early 30s, I think I was opening up. I was getting better because it's been a long time.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, I wasn't there yet. I think besides that, I think I have other red flags too. So recognizing that and working on it, because I don't want to carry that in my future relationships whenever that happens. Another thing I heard online was like you attract people according to what you're looking for. So if you are emotionally unavailable,
you're gonna attract emotionally unavailable.
Yeah.
That's like how the cycle of abuse, also this is a bit more serious, but like how the cycle of abuse gets perpetuated. Because like if you grew up in a house where your parents are always fighting, when you go out to date, like someone always arguing or talking over you or being rude, you don't really see that as a red flag, because like in your head, that's how
normal.
your parents were, and
normal.
It's super normal. So it's something that like you really have to work on. I think some of my red flags are, where do I begin? No, I'm just kidding. I will say that I am standoffish. Like I do guard my heart, because like growing up I had like a very tumultuous childhood, so for me I feel like I have to protect myself a little bit. I also feel like I overthink a lot, and I also
is that the reason why we click?
sometimes I create conclusions in my head before even talking to the person. So it makes no sense when you say it out loud. And then I feel like just open communication as well. Sometimes I feel like, me specifically, I'm just like, I don't want to have to tell you things, but men are stupid and you gotta tell them stuff.
Well, but beside that, even if it's just you and I, you gotta tell me stuff,
But I feel like in relationships, it's different. In friendships, we're super honest. Either I'm gonna be a pushover, I'm gonna be like, it's gonna go my way when it's a relationship. And that's something that I have to work on.
In my early 20s or in my teenage years, if I have a boyfriend, that person would be like my world. Basically merge my identity with the person.
With that person.
I don't do that anymore.
And I think that's what I was getting at earlier too. And I was like, I figure out things that I like. My long-term relationship that I had, we broke up like when I was 24, I think. So then the rest of my 20s I was mostly single. I was dating around,
Nothing serious.
being a hoe, but
You went through a whole phase.
and not just women, I feel like men too will compromise a lot in relationships, and then there's one person that kind of always gets what they want, and the other person, you may not feel it at the moment, but over time those small little things add up. When you're a little bit older and you know exactly what you like and you know exactly what you want, you're able to advocate for it and not compromise as much. Yeah, you should compromise, obviously.
I think that's how my early 20s relationships were when I was in college, because I dated him for almost 3 years. And then right after we broke up, I feel like I was so lost. And then I promised myself, like after that relationship, that whenever something like this happens, I'm never losing myself ever. I'm not gonna be waiting around, because I was stupid enough to wait around for a year in my prime days. That also, in terms of keeping my identity, like like focusing on YouTube, doing Instagram or editing and everything. Those things I enjoy, and I've always tried to balance that out, even when I was in a relationship.
Which is good.
Yeah, and even when the relationship ended, my recent one, it ended on Sunday, and I posted my birthday vlog on Tuesday. Or Tuesday or Wednesday. I remember like I was like sobbing and I'm editing, you know?
Oh, I was watching it and I was like, this is such a nice video. I really did like that one. That was a nice one.
Well, I was trying to like process the emotion and everything, but at the same time, I was like, I'm not gonna go back to the old Tisha. Any end of a relationship hurts.
Yeah.
Because it's a loss of the relationship, loss of the potential, as well, loss of the person. Not just that person, but the person you are.
Looking back 4, 5, 6 years later, I would be like, oh, that relationship needed to happen and we needed to grow and we needed to separate. But at the time I was like, this is the worst thing ever. I hate it. It's not what I wanted. It's really like interesting how time and space and growth, I guess, and healing helps. Because it's all connected.
Like for me right now, I feel it's truly a time of healing, but it's not just from the end of the relationship, my general anxiety or just my overthinking in general. Even like all my injuries right now, like my elbow and my feet, I really feel it's like the universe telling me just to like
Slow down.
Slow down completely.
Slow the freak down.
Yeah, because everything like happened one after the other. Time to focus on myself.
Focus on yourself, yeah, exactly. I think for me, just focus on healing past wounds, childhood trauma, adulthood trauma, self-inflicted trauma, dating trauma. Dating trauma is the worst because you did it to yourself.
Yeah.
Kind of.
I saw a TikTok that says, do you feel it's a time where you're healing, you're happy, or you're hurting all at the same time? Because that's somewhat how I feel as well.
That's so funny because the meetings that I go to, we have a saying like that. You go from hurting to healing to helping. But then one time in the meeting, because after the meeting we stick around a little bit and we have like smaller discussions, and then one person was like, do you feel like you have all those feelings at the same time? We're like, yeah. Compare like your 20s to your 30s, what's like the thing you're most excited about experiencing in your 30s?
I really feel like when I turned 30, I kind of talked about my birthday vlog as well. Once I turned 30, I was so determined to change my life. I still feel I'm not thriving yet, you know, I'm still just surviving. But in 20s, I didn't really focus on that. I was really focused on work and getting some kind of validation out of work, that I truly forgot things that would bring joy to me.
Yeah.
I kind of associated my identity.
Career is hard because you spend so much time at your job that you kind of feel like that is your life, but it kind of isn't. And I feel like that's very common. Like a lot of people do it. It's not okay.
I still tend to do that, and I think it's because of Asian household where it's always you're competing against
Caribbean. Similar.
Your sibling or your cousin's cousin or your cousin or your...
This person just graduated from that place and they have a new job here. And
back in Nepal, like we don't get consolation prizes for competition.
Yeah.
There's nothing like, oh, you get a participation point.
Yeah.
You either the topper or you're like...
There's first, second, and third. That's it.
That's it. Nothing else. Nothing else matters. And we didn't really focus on extracurricular activities that much either. It was just
school. So when your college ended, I was like so lost. So I think once I shifted from college, it was like work. Oh, I need to put every single waking moment and time and energy into work. Just to answer the question that I originally posed, for my 30s, I feel like I'm in a similar position where I wanna enjoy work, I want to enjoy my career, but I also want to like not forget to have fun and play. Just like continue discovering new things that I like and new things about myself.
Yeah.
I feel like yes, should you be a good worker? Yes. People need to get up and work.
Get your ass up and work.
But I also feel like you should have other things outside of your job that makes you happy, like
That's so true.
Whether it's making YouTube videos, whether it's making TikToks, whether it's just watching stupid reality TV, which is something that I love doing.
I'm grateful for the job I have right now. I'm grateful for the team I work with too.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't know. It's not just about love life. Earlier when talking about like what I thought my 30s would be. Career-wise too. I didn't think I would be this uncertain where I want to head.
I also feel like sometimes when you're focused so much on like the next step, you kind of miss the step you're actually on in the place you are. And I feel like that happened to me a lot with my career. I'm not as far as I thought I would be. This made up rubric that I created for myself, like this made up timeline, you know, it's like, it's your own head. Like no one gave you that timeline. You gave yourself that timeline. You can change it. And so that's something that I'm trying to remember and breathe through and take it day by day.
She got some good news here. Can you announce it?
Yeah, I can. I already put my notice in. I work in the food industry. I'm a chef. Technically not a chef because I don't run my own restaurant, but like I was trained as a chef. And I transitioned because before I was in just like a regular 9-to-5 job. It's been interesting because this past year I've been working at a restaurant in Brooklyn. It was a really good opportunity, but my friend is opening a restaurant in the West Village and she was like, I want you to come along and be my junior sous chef and learn and grow. We were talking about it the last time we hung out, but I am very like excited, but I'm also very nervous. I don't want to mess this up. I don't want to like ruin our friendship, and also I want to make sure that I'm growing, and I feel like this is a good place for me to go to. I am excited about it. I'm also very nervous.
Opportunity landed in a very unexpected way for you.
Yeah.
That means it's meant to be. You're not actively looking for it, but then it happens. So that means it's meant to be.
Yeah. Thank you, universe.
Waiting for my sign to hear. There were a couple more things that we wanted to talk about, but then time limit, and it's getting dark as well.
Yeah.
And we both have work tomorrow too. So we'll probably do like a part 2 is coming up. Let us know in the comments below what topics we should cover in our next video.
Yeah.
Because we had topics about like hobbies that we didn't get to touch on. Living in New York, because she lives in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
I live in downtown Jersey City, but I would love to move to New York City one day. Well, my lease is up in December, so let's see. Because right now, with the price hike and everything, I don't know if it's gonna happen, but I'm keeping it out there that it will happen.
Yeah.
So let us know in the comments below what topic we should cover. And show some love to Shanti as well. We'll end the video here. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe and support the channel. If you have an Instagram, don't forget to check out both of our Instagram. I will see you guys in my next one. Bye! Funny, I think.
So now you're gonna adjust it to your face shape. Little thing is you're gonna tuck those in.
Got our ice cream. Shanti dropped our ice cream.